Your mother dies on a Tuesday and you find out on Friday. In a text from your brother that says mom died Tuesday, service is Saturday, and nothing else after that. You might not cry that day. What gets you usually by evening is that Tuesday to Friday is 3 days, which means somebody sat down and made a list of who to call and you weren't on it, or you were at the bottom of it, or your name came up and somebody said they'd handle it and then didn't. If you've been estranged from your mother and she's gone now, or you can feel that day coming, this one's for you, because almost nothing about the way we handle grief was built for it. Within about a day, everyone in your life will pick one of two stories about how you feel. Half of them decide you must be devastated because it's your mother, and whatever happened, it's your mother. The other half decide you must be relieved because you hadn't spoken in 6 years. So presumably, you already did the hard part. Both of those come with expectations. You should feel this, you should do that. And neither one describes what's actually going on, which is that you're feeling several things at once and none of it has a name. What you're feeling is grief, and almost nothing around you is set up to treat it that way. Regular mourning comes with time off work and cards and people who show up at the door, and a stretch of time everybody understands starts here and ends around there. And inside of it, you're allowed to be visibly wrecked. You get none of that structure and none of that permission, and the week still has to be gotten through. You technically qualify for the leave because no policy anywhere asks when you last spoke to her. Taking it means walking into a supervisor's office and asking for time off to mourn a woman you hadn't seen in 6 years, and feeling the whole time like you're getting away with something. So a lot of women don't ask. They take a personal day and tell nobody. Nobody shows up at the door either, because nobody's sure they'd be welcome. And the cards that do come are written carefully and land slightly wrong, because whoever wrote it didn't know what tone to use. Everyone will assume the distance made it easier, that 6 years or 10 years spread the loss out over time and it got absorbed in advance. It doesn't work that way. Unresolved relationships are harder to lose than settled ones, not easier, because when there's nothing left to work out with someone, their death is sad and it's clean. And when the whole thing is still open, when there are conversations that never happened and questions that never got answered and a mother you never got, you're grieving all of it at the same time. Grief after a difficult relationship tends to run longer and heavier. So if this hit you sideways, if you're more of a mess than a woman who hadn't spoken to her mother in 6 years is supposed to be, you're not doing it wrong. It's just a harder loss than people assume. What you're grieving usually isn't the person, because the relationship ended years ago and you already knew what it was like to not have a mother. You've been not having one for a long time by then. What ended on Tuesday was the possibility. Not that you were waiting on it, not that there was a plan to reach out, just that as long as she was alive, the situation was technically unfinished, and now it's finished in the worst available way. Nothing got repaired. The option came off the table. And that option disappears even for the women who never wanted it back. Plenty of you thought it all the way through, made the right call, knew it was the right call, and never planned to go back. And it still lands, because declining something isn't the same as it not being there anymore. That's the ones who were sure, and a lot of you weren't. A lot of you were still holding on to something right up until the phone rang, even if you'd never have said it out loud, and that something is hope. Most estranged adult children keep some of it, the hope that she'd change one day, that she'd turn into the mother you needed, that there'd be a conversation eventually where she finally understood what she'd done. You might feel like you grieved this relationship years ago, and for most women that's true, but the hope you kept, and it stayed alive because she was alive. So hope died on Tuesday too, along with any chance that it could ever have gone differently. You already did this once. The estrangement was its own bereavement. You grieved her while she was alive, without a funeral, without anybody acknowledging it, and mostly by yourself. Then she died, and none of that first round counts toward the second one. So you do it again, and this time other people are watching. Saturday is its own problem. There's a stigma around estrangement, and the stigma makes people secretive about it, and being secretive means fewer people know enough to support you through any of it. A funeral makes that worse because the room is full of people who either don't know the history, know a different account of it than yours, or know it and have opinions. So if you go, you won't be mourning, you'll be working. You'll be reading the room, deciding what to say to the aunt who asks how you're holding up in a tone that means something else. Watching a relative use the receiving line to relitigate the last 6 years. Getting told by a woman who's known you since you were 4 that she talked about you all the time, and not knowing until later whether that was meant kindly. Whoever walks into that room will have the least support available and the most managing to do. So, do you go? Nobody outside your life can answer that, and it isn't a dodge. It's that neither one is automatically the honest choice. Some women go and find it useful. Some go and spend a year regretting it. Some stay home and feel fine about it. And some stay home and find out months later that they needed something they didn't get. Going or not going says nothing about your character. Whatever your family decides, it says. And somebody in your family will try to make it say something. It's a logistics decision and a self-protection decision. It isn't a referendum on whether you loved her. What people say to you will mostly be bad, and mostly not on purpose. At least she's at peace. At least you had those years. Everything happens for a reason. You'll regret it if you don't go. And somebody's going to tell you life is too short. The greeting card answers come out because most people have no idea what to say here. So they say whatever they've heard other people say. You don't owe them a correction, and you don't owe anybody the timeline, the history, or an explanation of why you stopped speaking. It's complicated, will do. There's no worse place on earth to explain an entire childhood than a room full of mourners. So let it be complicated and walk away. You can feel relieved and grieved at the same time, and you don't have to sort them into one feeling before you're allowed to have either. You can be sad she's gone and glad you're not going back. You can miss a woman you'd never have let back in. You can feel almost nothing on Friday and fall apart in the car on Tuesday for no reason you can point to. None of it means you were wrong to leave, and none of it means you didn't love her. If you're in this right now, grieving a mother you'd already lost once, in a room full of people who don't know the half of it, what you're feeling is real even if nobody around you calls it grief. It's grief, and you're allowed to have it your way. We want to hear from the women who've already been through this, because your answer is what helps the next woman who hasn't. Did you go or did you stay home? And looking back on it now, did it turn out to be the right call? Tell us in the comments. Somebody scrolling down there needs to read exactly what you're about to write. If you're working through this yourself, we made a free guide discussing forgiveness and access, and you can get it at theestrangementproject.com. Subscribe to The Estrangement Project for more on estrangement, forgiveness, and the patterns that show up between people who were supposed to be safe.